creative empowerment strategist and professional coach. I want to share a quick story before we get started. A couple years ago, had a realization when we had gone through COVID that I was not paying attention to my creative self, that I was not practicing what I love so much in my life, which was being creative. And so I had this opportunity to take a class with my now mentor, Whitney Freya. And I realized that this painting practice is exactly what I needed at the time. You see, in the past, I had always kept this part of myself separate, even to the point that I had an art studio and an office for my coaching business and always kept that separate. Well, within a couple of years of really doing this intuitive practice, painting practice, I have now blended them together. I coach in this space, I paint in this space, and I feel personally whole again. And so what we're going to do today is we're going to go through the painting practice of the lotus flower and really have this reawakening, this rebirth of your creative self. Let's get going. Hi everyone. Welcome back. Okay, so what I do to get started is that I do three things. I will start with saging the area that I'm painting in and also my canvas. I kind of go over my paints and then myself. I light a candle. And place it next to my canvas. And then I use my singing bowl. I do all these things to kind of get myself in that state of allowance and just kind of a peaceful state that I'm showing up for myself and I'm showing up to the canvas. The other thing I do is I put some music on that inspires me, get a great cup of tea or whatever you want to drink, and just really create this whole experience when you're painting. Okay, next I am going to share getting the paints ready, and then we'll start painting. Okay, as you see, I have covered the whole painting up. No white is showing. And that's the first layer that you do. You really start to just pick the colors that you want, and you start to just let yourself kind of get into the canvas, be inspired by what's coming up for you, by the shapes, by the colors, by the movement of how you're placing the paint on there. The other thing that I'm going to start to do is paint the sides of the canvas. So you'll see a little bit of that right now. So what I do is I kind of pick some of the colors that I used on the front, and I just do this as something that, just to kind of feel like the whole, I'm working all around. It's not just on top. And it's kind of fun because you will also see that that will change too as you paint the sides. Yeah, it might come over a little bit. It might, as you probably saw, some of the paint came over on the other side. So the top, all around. And yeah, I do this in the first stage, yeah. So I don't wait until the end and cover it any special way. I like to have the paint go all around the canvas. This exercise of covering the first stages of your painting is to really allow yourself to get in touch with whatever's coming up. It's not so much about creating this actual product right now. You're not going to create a product. You're going to create an inspired painting of a lotus flower. And just covering all the white in the painting the painting starts to come alive. And you can do scraping marks as you saw me do before. Put your nails in there. You can then erase it if you don't like it. But it's really like that first, just getting past that first layer and just letting all that yumminess come up and play, you know? Just feeling it, feeling the colors, feeling the paint, seeing the colors, the textures, the movement, just being expressed on the canvas is your first step. Okay, so now I have let the painting dry, and I'm going to start to put the outline of the lotus flower in the painting and see where I'm kind of inspired by it. And remember, as we go through this process, you're going to find that you might put something in and then you can take it out, and we'll talk more about that in the next video. But this, we're just starting to see, where is this lotus flower starting to bloom? Where do I start seeing, you know, this inspiration coming up? Because this could be thought of, you know, the lotus flower grows from like the murky waters, the muddy waters. Although I don't see this as murky, there's parts of it that's murky, but I'm starting to kind of experience or feel like, okay, where is the flower coming up from? Where am I feeling it showing up on the painting? So I picked some of my painting colors that I'll start to kind of do the outline on, and we'll see how that comes out. Okay. Okay, so the line is all dry and we're ready to move to the next video. But before we move into the next video, I just wanted to share a couple of things about the lotus flower and the meaning behind it and why I love painting it so much. A couple of things. Okay, well, the lotus flower is often seen as a symbol of spiritual awakening, representing this journey from the darkness to the light, because the flower is growing from that murky kind of environment where it's kind of muddy and murky, and then all of a sudden it comes up out of the water, and that's where there's a sense of kind of rebirth or purity at this point. This flower comes out of that muddy water, and all of a sudden there's no dirt on it. You know, it's just this beautiful representation, and it's so beautiful. And the other thing that I love about it is resilience. The lotus flower is blooming, has gone through all of this kind of facing adversity, so to speak, from the water. And so why I love painting this is because we can see in our own lives, what have we gone through? What's the rebirthing? You know, it can be a rebirthing from one day to the other. It can be from a year. It can be from many years. Like, who do we want to be? And how do we want to show up? And this new life, this new way of being that we want to kind of embrace for ourselves. And so that's part of the inner growth. Like, what are we wanting? What are we wanting to discover? What are we wanting to learn? And how do we want to take this knowledge and use it towards the future and for our lives? One more thing that I love about the lotus flower is its ability to create beauty from mud. So that's the creativity that it's that sense of creativity that I love. It's turning those negative experience, so to speak, you know, into positive. So in your life, as you're painting this, start to think about, like, how are you going through a rebirth? What are some negative things that you want to shine a new light to? So think about that as we paint. And so we're going to go into the next video, and I'll see you there. Thanks so much. Bye.